Welcome, everyone, to the L7C Podcast, College Football Edition. Today, we are with the Content Tuesday crew of Cedric, Byron, and Justin talking about the Ohio State Buckeyes and all of the crazy things that have happened this past week in college football. So there's a lot to talk about, so we're going to get right into it. So, Byron, take it away.
Ohio State destroyed Michigan State 38-3. McCord had a good game, 335 yards, 3 touchdowns. Travion Henderson, 63 yards and a touchdown. Marvin Harrison had a rushing touchdown of 19 yards. Marvin Harrison Jr. went off again, 7 receptions, 149 yards, 2 touchdowns. Tate Stover was back. He had 7 receptions for 79 yards and a touchdown. Defense had 2 sacks. We were out late without Lathan Ransom, Eichenberg, and Proctor. They didn't play due to injuries. Overall, I liked how fast we started. Our first 3 drives were touchdowns. Defense played well, only allowing 3 points. I had no complaints this game.
Cedric, what did you like about the Buckeyes performance? Typically, Michigan State has been a pain in Ohio State's butt the past 2 decades when they're actually good. They've beaten us with a third-string quarterback at home to ruin national championship aspirations just 6-7 years ago. What were your thoughts on the demolition?
Marvin Harrison Jr., 3 total touchdowns. Amazing showcase for the Heisman race.
Yeah, that's true. That's true to that. If you didn't get Marvin's odds at the beginning of the season, now it's just they've jumped from like 2,900 from when I did it to now it's like plus 450. So, Justin, anything you want to add on the Buckeyes winning at Michigan State?
No, not really. Ohio State did exactly what we all thought they would do. They they beat the dog shit out of Michigan State. They didn't mess around with them, and they did exactly what they needed to do against that bullshit team in turmoil. Love the performance.
Oh, fair enough. Well, quickly then go into, I'll actually talk about Minnesota. So Minnesota's coming to town this weekend. It's the last home game of the season. It's senior night. Currently, OSU is a 27.5-point favorite on ESPN. Byron, what are your thoughts on this game? It's always the game before Michigan week.
Yeah, I hope it's not. It's a trap game, but I just hope we go in there and take care of business and start fast like we did against Michigan State. I know Mohamed Ibrahim is not still at Minnesota, but we don't need their running back scoring almost 200 yards. So just go in there and take care of business.
Cedric, thoughts on this game, the game before Michigan week?
Should be relatively easy kick, honestly. I haven't heard anything impressive about this Minnesota football team, so not worried that much at all.
And Justin, anything on Minnesota because it's the game before Michigan week?
That's the only reason why Ohio State might not look as good as they normally do against a team of the caliber of Minnesota, because they are not good.
Fair enough. It's the truth. I mean, we've had some close Michigan week, the game before Michigan week scares that shouldn't have been, but we should handily take care of that. I think the biggest thing is getting out of that game and no one gets hurt. So, like, once you're up by 30, pull everyone out. So, all right. Going into some of the big games that happened. Speaking of Michigan, Michigan played at number 11, Penn State. Michigan won 24-15. The new mantra, which we'll get into later on, Michigan against the world. But I think the craziest point in this whole game is that Michigan did not throw a pass the whole second half and won the game in 2023.
Fucking nuts.
Yeah, their run game ran all over Penn State like they did last year. This time wasn't for 400 plus yards. This time was only 227 yards. Blake Corum, 26 yards. 26 carries, 145 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Just didn't have anything for the Michigan's run game.
Justin, what's that say to a line like another team when the other team is like, we don't have to pass, we can run it down your throat for not just a drive, a whole half.
Yeah, it's very disrespectful. I will say that it's very disrespectful to Penn State. Michigan knew that they didn't really have to do very much in that second half to win the game, already having the lead. They only scored 10 goddamn points in the second half, and the last touchdown was because Penn State missed a fourth down, and it was in plus territory. So Michigan really ain't do shit that second half. Like everyone's saying, "Oh, Michigan's so good they didn't have to throw the ball against Penn State in the second half." I mean, they did, but that is just. I feel like that has something to do with Harbaugh not being there or not like thinking up a better way, because obviously that shit will not cut it against OSU just running the ball in the second half like that. They got away with it against Penn State because Penn State don't play up against the big boys in the Big Ten like that, but they ain't gonna work against Ohio State.
Yeah, they didn't also. It seems like we were trying to help Marvin's case to go to New York. Michigan did not care about J.J. McCarthy's case. After the second half, they're just like, we're just going to hand it off. We have bigger things that we want than you going in potentially New York.
I mean, they were running that. They were running JJ too. They were running his ass too. I was like, damn. I mean, if we're going to do it like this, just fucking turn around and just give it to the running backs. We don't even got to put them in danger like that.
Right. And speaking of Heisman now, there is a new Heisman frontrunner, and he is in Oregon, and his name is Bo Nix. Oregon played USC. Oregon 36, USC 27. I know we've talked about if they probably play again, I think Oregon will beat Washington. But when you have two receivers who have 126 receiving yards and 147 respectively, each having some touchdowns, that ain't going to cut it. And USC, they got rid of their defensive coordinator, Alex Grinch, and then just come back and just give a mightily of 36 points. So, and USC loses again.
Man.
How many yards they give up?
I mean, if you gave up 200 plus,
552.
I mean, 200 plus for two receivers
on two plays, like over 100 yards on two plays.
I mean, we know what the fuck going on with USC in that defense. Like nothing about that game surprised me other than Actually, I didn't even bet on the because that game was late. Like, the game was late, 10:30. I didn't even bet on the full game total. I didn't even bet on. I already knew USC wasn't going to do their part. I only bet on Oregon's over, and they didn't even get that. They were 10 points off of it, but they still whooped the dog shit out of them.
They're out, man. Bo Nix is here. He is mission oriented right now.
What do you say?
Bo Nix, he's on a mission.
Oh, he been going the fuck off. Going off, man. I'm like, damn, I remember you at Auburn, bro. You sucked. Like, you were not good at Auburn. Like, it's wild. Like, it is wild.
You get the right coach. You get the right coach, and you get the right people around him, man. Ever since that Colorado game where that coach said the Hollywood story ends, I was like, oh, Oregon's serious.
Yeah, Oregon's not fucking around. Wait till you see the top 10. They might crack the top 4. They might crack the top 4 for me in my rankings. They might have. Oregon, woo, if it comes down to Washington, Oregon again, Washington better look out because they're going to be in fucking trouble.
Yeah. Cedric, anything you want to add on the Oregon piece?
No.
Fair enough. Next one, Justin, got to call you out. You said Miami would get the dog shit beat out of them. This was a game the whole game.
I mean,
27-20.
It was. Florida State never really never really broke the game open like I thought they were going to do. But hey, they got the win. Miami,
that's all that matters.
You know, their second string quarterback was playing better than Van Dyke, but he got hurt at the end of the game and they had to send him back in and he throws a pick, and that's game over. But yeah, Florida State survived that one.
Has the AC? I know Florida State's already clinched a spot in the ACC championship game. Has the opponent been clinched yet?
Hell no.
I don't think so.
I know
UNC
right now beat Duke.
Well, yeah. Looking at that
right now, Louisville is.
Oh, that's right. Louisville.
Yeah,
Louisville is 6-1 and North Carolina is 4-2. So Louisville should clinch the second spot.
So Louisville has to inside track if they went out for the rest of the season.
Wow. All right. Anything else on Florida State, number 4 in the country, surviving?
Yeah. Yeah, that was a tough game to watch. I bet they're spreading. I was sick. I ain't gonna lie. I was getting mad.
Speaking of team that survived again, Washington. We all knew the Utah game was going to be tough. I felt like Washington was doing everything to give it away again, a la dropping the ball before entering the goal line. Like,
bro, that dude is so man.
This is 2023. How do you still do that?
I saw that, and I was like, I saw it like in live. I was like, this fool really dropped the ball for the end zone.
Bro, and you can clearly tell, like, live that, he did not cross the plane. Mm-hmm. Like, he did not, like, you saw that shit live, bro.
This is like, bro, like, what did you think? And then his teammates, like, celebrating, like, I know you did. I know y'all just watched this man drop that football right in front of you.
Man, if they would have lost that game, my God. Thank God they won.
They got saved by God. Like, they got a safety and they got the ball back. Like, that was something. I was like, wow. Anyone else, that doesn't happen. Like, your dreams get crushed.
They're skating. They're skating, like, but they keep like,
and it was a beautiful pick. I was like, oh, that's a great pick. Oh, he about to take it to the house. Oh shit. Okay. Oh, whoa, what? I was like, I know this dude did not just drop this ball.
Oh man, but again, they're winning, so they stay undefeated in that regard. Ole Miss in Georgia.
Oh my God,
Georgia, 52.
I'm done. I'm done down them.
52.
You done?
Officially, I'm done. This was the SEC championship game. I'm done.
Ole Miss 17. Besides the Missouri game, when Georgia plays a ranked opponent, they destroy them.
Yes,
because the other ranked opponent was Kentucky. They played besides Missouri, and they dropped 50 on them.
Yep, they dropped 50 on them too.
I'm telling you right now, Tennessee stands no chance this week. Right, fucking Georgia's going to whip the dog shit out of them. And our only hope is Milroe. Jalen Milroe. That's the only hope we have left.
Yeah,
we don't want to see Georgia back in that goddamn college football playoff. It is Alabama.
And the people, I can't believe this time's already passed. The best tight end in football is back. Brock Bowers is back. So
the craziest thing is he got one touchdown. Wasn't like they were sitting here like trying to feed him the rock like that. Like they got it done because the first quarter was close. First quarter was close. I was like, man, I was like, this Ole Miss offense is showing me some things. I thought some things were about to shake for them, and then, man, Georgia got off on a 14-point lead. I was like, oh, this. Then they hit 21 points. I was like, oh shit, this may be done.
And I mean, they were still trying to have hope. Well, Miss was trying to have hope before the Alabama game, all that stuff. They were trying to be like, oh, maybe we could sneak in if we beat Georgia and Alabama loses. Obviously, that didn't happen. But, yeah, man, Georgia's sending another message. The three-peat is impending.
They said, top 10 teams get hit with, we beat them by 30-something points.
Kirby knows what time it is.
I believe in Saban.
Wow.
I believe in Saban's money.
We'll see on that. Another team surviving the Big 12's last hope in their final season. Texas 29, TCU 26. They survived right before Quinn Ewers comes back. Thoughts on another time? They're surviving.
Yeah, Quinn Ewers played.
Oh, he played this game?
317 for one touchdown, one interception.
Okay, yep. I did see today that he potentially might come back next year.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Well, he hasn't had a full season.
They already ranked him the number one quarterback coming back if he comes back next year.
I mean, I wouldn't go out. The top of the QBs is stacked. He wouldn't be a first round pick. Yeah, I'll definitely come back.
So, but they survived 26, 29.
Damn, that sucks for Arch Manning though.
I know if he stays, that would be. But the guy who was playing the other backup quarterback wasn't bad.
Yeah.
That means he's going. He will be on another team next year. He got his audition. He like, oh, I'm ready. I'm ready for the show now.
And then the most dangerous team in the country right now, Alabama 49, Kentucky 21.
Dang, Milroe 6 total touchdowns.
How many you have?
6 total touchdowns. This shit is unreal.
They've unlocked him.
He's scary.
I know. I know LSU out of it. Can we talk about Jaden Daniels though for a little bit, man?
Yeah.
Good Lord,
He went
off again.
Yeah.
If his team was better, what do they have him right now in the Heisman? Third? Yeah, they have him third.
I mean, he was unbelievable against Florida. That dude was unbelievable.
Like,
where he at? Fucking 3 passing touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns, 370 yards, throwing 234 rushing. Like,
it's nuts.
Oh, so bad for that young man.
I know.
Yeah.
So we will switch this up. First thing that happened was Jim Harbaugh. I mean, we talked about if something was gonna happen this year. Usually, the NCAA moves slow, but as it progressed, the Big Ten was not moving slow. They were on campus, and once they went on campus, something was imminent. Jim Harbaugh was on the plane ride to Penn State and found out that he's been suspended these 3 games: Penn State, Maryland, and Ohio State at this current point in time. He's allowed to be with the team all the way up until game day Saturday. And then, he's still allowed to coach in a bowl if they make a bowl. And he has a court hearing this Friday, that week of recording, to see if he can get like a restraining order and injunction to coach again. But guys, Big Ten, they moved quick. Something happened to Michigan.
Surprised. I thought they would wait until the NCAA would finish their investigation.
You see, they only suspend them now. You know the rest of the team. You know the rest of the Big Ten said ban those motherfuckers. They ain't do that. They ain't do that.
It's the weirdest suspension ever. I've never seen a suspension where you could be with the team all week and then just not Saturday.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's just for optics, bro. Like there ain't nothing. Ain't nothing you can do unless you wait for the NCAA, and who knows how long that shit gonna take. So like. It's literally just for optics. They gotta do something to Michigan because they're cheating, and they got this new commissioner in the Big Ten has got to appease the rest of the coaches. That's it.
Yeah, and Hendrick did a chart. He asked the CFP, "Does this now matter that he got suspended?" They said they basically hit her with the Mike Tomlin. At the current point, we do not care. It's the 4 best. Unless Michigan cannot play in a bowl, they are proceeding as planned. And there's some people who are crazy saying that until this is over, Michigan should not be allowed in the CF. Like a whole bunch of crazy thoughts and opinions. But
yeah, this Michigan shit fucking went from whatever to oh my god, this shit is
the biggest story.
My popcorn. This shit is fucking crazy. Like
biggest story in sports right now. I feel like there's no way they're gonna not have him on the sideline for the game. They're going to figure out something. You don't pay those lawyers all that money for a reason.
We'll see on Friday.
I have a feeling. I mean, it's just so ill-advised. I don't know. I don't know what we're doing here with all of them.
But they've rallied around it. You saw that coach, that assistant coach crying.
Fucking bro, that shit was so embarrassing. I'm sorry. Like, he's like, this is for Coach Harbaugh. I was like, you make it sound like this nigga died.
No, bro.
Like, bro,
that nigga was in fucking. That nigga was at the hotel watching the game. What do you mean?
What do you mean hotel? That nigga was on campus. He just wasn't allowed on the sideline.
That's what I mean. The team hotel.
Yeah, it was at Penn. It was there.
He was in Happy Valley.
It was at Penn State, so he was at the hotel.
Was right there. Like you will see him in like 30 minutes. What you talking about?
And then Harbaugh said in his press conference that he found out via social media.
Well, that's his own damn fault. He should pick up the fucking phone. I know somebody called his ass. He was trying to dodge that phone call.
I bet they didn't, bro. I bet they tweeted that shit out and said, "You'll see this shit, nigga. You'll see
Probably.
it."
I mean, that's how people find out they get traded now.
Yeah, someone gonna tell you about it.
Man,
we gonna tell Schefter and he gonna let you know.
Like the new guy would have made a phone call. Now, granted, he probably called the office phone. Not his cell phone.
I think it's
I tried to reach you, but you weren't there.
You make the decision while they enter Penn State. Like, who does that?
Yeah, that's a little woozy.
Well, hey, time was of the essence. It was like, is this now or never? Someone was on that nigga's neck. Like, listen, it's either now or never. You making the decision. You're going to do it now or you're not going to do it at all. He's like, fuck it, let's do it.
And what kind of fucking suspension? Like y'all saying earlier, nigga with the team the whole goddamn week and just can't be on the sideline. Like, it's dumb. It's fucking dumb. Either punish these niggas or don't. Or don't do it. Don't even bother.
They said they're the Cowboys of college football now, man. He said we need to band together and be America's team.
They're America's team.
That's what Jim Harbaugh said in the press conference.
The America's team of college football. I'll name 5 teams that are the American team of college football before I get to fucking Michigan. I'll tell you that right now.
I can get you the exact quote. He said, "Yeah, they got to be America's team."
Oh, bro!
I want to see Michigan fucking.
What does Saban say when he heard that? Because that's one of America's teams of college football.
Thanks.
I mean, if Ohio State wasn't involved, I would want Michigan to win the name just for content purposes, but fuck those niggas, bro. Just for content purposes, though. That shit would be fun. But
they said they're the college Dallas Cowboys, Justin.
I'm telling you, I'll name 5 teams. Alabama. Fucking, there's OSU fans everywhere.
Yep.
Goddamn, do I want to say USC?
While you're naming, real quick, Justin.
Oh yeah, fucking Notre Dame.
That's actually I would actually put that number 1 actually, but real quick. So this is what Harbaugh said. He said they, as in Michigan, they've got to be America's team. America loves a team that beats the odds in adversity and overcomes what the naysayers, critics, and so-called experts think. That's my kind of team.
But the thing is, like,
you cheated, bro.
the naysayers are saying you cheated, which you're not naysayers. You cheated. Like that's not a naysayer. Like ain't nobody sitting there saying y'all can't win a football game. We saying that y'all niggas cheated and won football games.
But no,
the two aren't mutually exclusive. Like
some of the two that you named were actually probably the biggest. Actually, like when you do the full college football for 2 different reasons. When you said Notre Dame and you even said USC, Notre Dame, like they represent a whole freaking religion.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
And like you're talking about the whole history of football. I know they haven't won a title in these past decades, but they were winning titles. They've had Hall of Fame play. I mean, freaking before Tom Brady, the GOAT went there.
We're talking about brands like popularity, and that's what American team mean to me. Because obviously, Cowboys haven't won a goddamn thing in 30 fucking years. It's about brand recognition, all that shit. And
no, when USC is good, like we said USC, but when they're good, because when they're good, all the celebrities go to the games. You got Kim Kardashian posting from Instagram that she's at the USC game, and then that's how everyone's like, "Oh shit, celebrities are there." Now I'm a USC fan. That's when they're America's team. Like the Reggie Bush era. Boy,
yes.
I'll even say Texas. University of Texas when they are on.
I was going to say Texas.
They're up there. Yeah, Bama's more from a winning, like a Patriot type thing, from a winning thing. But like,
I was saying America's team because the past 10 decades, like you go fucking anywhere, somehow somewhere there's a fucking Alabama fan there. So they're saying like, roll Tide, like
that's Harbaugh, bro.
And then Michigan's probably there after all those teams I just named.
Yeah.
I would put Florida State before fucking Michigan.
Florida State do got a good fan base down there. When
I feel like Miami has a good
Bobby
fan base
era,
too.
Like his group, I don't know about now, but his
actually,
group,
Byron, you're right about Miami. If they ever get their shit together, that's
celebrities will be in there again.
Yeah,
yep,
they'll be in there again. But that happened. And just because we're going to be jumping around, because obviously there's something big that happened we will talk about. But I want to throw this one to Justin. Who was the dumbass who set the Missouri-Tennessee line?
The books. Someone in the sports books hasn't been watching Missouri all goddamn year. They based that line off what Tennessee did last year. That's the only way. And Tennessee has owned Missouri like the past 4 years or some shit like that. But they weren't watching this year. They were not watching. Like they were not hip at all.
That was the easiest bet of the week.
I should have maxed that shit. I should have put $1 grand on it. It was easy fucking money. It was so disrespectful. I couldn't believe. I texted all y'all. I was like, y'all have to hammer this shit.
I took the money line. I was like, that's easy. Like, y'all, they had a toe-to-toe fight with Georgia, and you think they're about to lose to Tennessee?
Like, they're not about to fold after that loss. Like, maybe they got their asses whooped for real, but not fucking after that close game. Oh, no, they're feeling pretty good after that one. At home too.
Yeah, Tennessee's reeling. But The SEC is the first conference to have their full title game set. It's Georgia versus Alabama. So they already have their set a couple weeks away.
That's crazy.
Where is it at this year?
It'll be in Atlanta.
Atlanta, like it is every year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
It's a home game for Georgia.
That's about to be a movie.
No, it's not. It'll be split. It'll be split. This is Alabama we talking about. Come on now.
That's true.
This is Alabama. I'll say this. Saban's money is powerful.
Hey, we did say, I was actually listening to some of the old stuff from last year. We did say after those 2 losses that Saban will be back.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. In this title game. Last year LSU was in, but now they're back. And I can't wait to see what lines those are going to be because that is going to be interesting.
I'm telling you, that defense better figure out something to do with Milroe. He is. I'm telling you, the man is not a fucking pin. He's not an accurate thrower. I will say that, but that dude is a fucking athlete. And he got some wiggle.
And that's the thing. It's like out of all the SEC teams, defense to be the ones who try to figure out, it would have to be Georgia. Because no one else could do really any shit else with this guy. So it has to be Georgia.
It's going to be wild. That game's going to be a movie. College football playoffs don't come out till 9:00 because college basketball is on ESPN. We are talking about race for the Heisman. So there's been some chatter. This happened this Sunday. Jimbo Fisher was fired. Came out from the Texas A&M beat writer first, and then it became waves. Before I go back, real all the way back, we forgot to mention Marvin Harrison, first wide receiver in school history to have multiple 1,000-yard seasons back to back.
Beautiful.
We're going back to
wild,
but
beautiful.
Jimbo was fired literally on Sunday after they won 51-10. And
go ahead.
Just side note, the coach that lost 51-10, he got fired too. So where do you guys want to begin with the Jimbo stuff, man?
Mari, just go, bro. Like
we know you want to talk.
Just go, bro.
Right. All right.
You've been waiting for this forever.
Nah, I'll hold this party up. I'll let you talk, but it don't sit right with me, man. Him getting fired like this, man, because like obviously is deserved, is for cause. He obviously is getting fired for all the years of not doing a goddamn thing there with all this top 5 recruiting classes, all that shit, but. This nigga, and Martin's going to tell us how much money he about to be having, but he about to be sitting at home getting paid. Probably going to get another job soon after this shit.
Yes.
And that shit don't sit right with me. I'm sorry. Like, him just sitting at home after being so goddamn disappointed after Jameis Winston making your career and you parlaying that to getting all this money at Texas A&M, you ain't want to finish the job?
Yes.
I just don't like it. I don't like it. All right, go ahead, Martin.
All right. So... Actually, funny, when Jimbo Fisher got hired in 2018, Texas A&M gave him a plaque that said Texas A&M national champions, and then they left the date blank. So they were assuming that he was going to win the national championship. So that was hanging up in the Texas A&M school. So now they have to take that down. But look, man, if any fan of who's listened to this podcast is known, I have been on Jimbo's ass for a long time. That they paid him all that money and he wasn't winning shit. And the crazy thing is, before I get to the real numbers, is that these dumb assholes at Texas A&M fired Kevin Sumlin for Jimbo Fisher because Kevin Sumlin wasn't going to the SEC championship. He wasn't beating Alabama and all that stuff. Jimbo wasn't doing the same fucking thing. And now you paid him 20 times more than you paid Kevin Sumlin. And let me just get this stuff out for you guys on what they really have to do for this man. Because Jimbo Fisher now, the biggest buyout in college football history. So this clown, when he got fired, within 60 days of him being fired, Texas A&M owes him $19.4 million.
God damn.
Within 60 days. And then within another 120 days, they got to pay him 7.27. And then they're going to pay him that 7.27 basically until 2031, which rounds about to like 78 million guaranteed. So the fact that you have to pay him 19.4 in 60 days, terrible management. And the reason he got that contract, funny enough, is because they thought when the LSU job opened up, Jimbo was going to go there. So to keep Jimbo, they gave him that 10-year extension. Which, if he would have left for LSU, who gives a fuck? He wasn't winning anyway. And to this point, Jimbo Fisher, you paid him. And Justin, I know you said the 76 something, and I was telling you in group messages it's actually more than that, and I was going to get to that. The reason is because of Jimbo's contract, Texas A&M is on the hook for his assistants.
So they all getting fired too?
Pretty much. Whenever the new coach comes and gets rid of them, they have to pay their contracts in full. So combined, for the Jimbo and his staff, it'll be over $100 million.
Oh.
And then you want to talk about more costs. If Jimbo gets a job, that doesn't nullify any of the Texas A&M payments. So he's still going to get paid from Texas A&M and the other place. And then they have to hire another coach. So you're going to be paying two coaches. You're going to be paying two whole coaching staffs at the same fucking time.
That's just bad.
For a coach who never won the SEC championship, never won 10 games in a season.
Hey, I told you last time, man, they may as well just ride it out until it gets to a cheap point that you can swallow, because that contract was massive. But hey, they saying they got it like that, so
no,
they had enough.
Do.
They had enough of the losing.
They got it like that, Martin. They got the money. They ain't sweating.
That night, the board of trustees met Thursday night before that game. Is like, yeah, we can't have this anymore. Win or lose, we're firing him.
First of all, I think they got a donation check. Someone donated one of their boosters because it's all oil money. I'm telling you, said you'd be talking about you be talking about Alabama's money. Fucking those Texas schools, A&M, fucking Texas, A&M specifically though, that is oil money. So when crude oil, when that price of crude goes up, Texas A&M got the money. And I guess crude up right now, and they got that donation check, and they had enough. They had enough. I don't know who the next guy's going to be, which is they fired Jimbo now so they can get a jump on recruiting, hire a new guy, have him do the recruiting. But I just don't think you can win at Texas A&M. I don't think anyone can win there. No one has.
The problem with Texas A&M, funny enough, it's probably now you got Oklahoma and Texas coming to the SEC. It's probably the seventh best job in your own conference.
I'm not even talking about that. Just like over years, like last time these niggas won a national championship was 1939. They've been chasing a fucking title for goddamn almost 90 fucking years. Like I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think you can win there. There's a reason why. There's a reason why you can't win. Those niggas are weird. Like,
but Justin, the fact that things have changed, like you said earlier before I went, he has had top 5 recruiting classes his entire time, minimum. Yeah. Usually when you get top 5s over 4 years, whatever X amount of years, you usually get to a championship game. He never got to the SEC championship game.
I know. He hasn't even been in like New Year's Six Bowls or none of that shit.
Nope.
Like none of that shit. Like I just don't think you can win there. Like not with the schools that are around, like not with Texas around or fucking Oklahoma or Alabama or LSU.
Well,
all those schools,
we don't have to worry about them.
All the schools directly in that. I mean, shit. Oklahoma don't win no titles, but they still do better than fucking A&M consistently. But that's what I'm saying. I don't think you can win at Texas A&M. I don't think you can.
Well,
so is this problem bigger than Jimbo?
Fuck no, bigger than Jimbo.
No. Fuck no. We're not giving that clown a pass.
I'm not giving him a pass. It's bigger than Jimbo is what I'm talking about.
Jimbo isn't going to solve the problem holistically. Like you got a bigger problem on the loop. Like this is just one cog of the whole machine of problems that is Texas A&M.
Justin, what was that team that you said? Justin, you're making it sound like they are the college football version of the Chargers.
I am.
Okay.
I am.
Hey.
I am.
Okay.
You can't win. You can't win in San Diego. You can't win in fucking we're in College Station. You just can't win there. I mean, Jimbo went to the Gator Bowl, Texas Bowl, and the Orange Bowl in 2020, which should barely count.
2020 was his best year, and like you say, you don't like counting 2020 because the world was about to explode.
I don't, so I'm not going to give him credit for it.
And then he had the nerve to say we shouldn't get in. Man.
Forgot he said that.
Bro, Jimbo was just a media hot take, bro. Remember he was talking shit to Saban.
Oh,
man, that was my favorite. That was my favorite. Everybody thought he was in the Alabama game.
And we all know this nigga's about to go in the Alabama rehab coaching store. Saban going to pick his ass up. He going to be working for Alabama and then get another job somewhere.
Actually,
this is bullshit.
Justin,
and this nigga just going to be sitting at home getting paid until Halloween 2030. Whatever the fuck you say.
2031.
Yeah, 2031. Fuck that. It's bullshit. At least Ed Orgeron, he got actually brought a national championship.
Yeah, and they asked him after that. They're like, "Oh, this was an anomaly. It's time if Joe Burrow won that time, we would have got fired sooner."
Yeah, I know, but still, he got it. He got Burrow to come there now.
Justin, I just man, with the resources, like you said, the resources they have, the money they have in NIL. Because remember, when Nick Saban was basically saying, "Hey, they buying the players over there, bro. They have the resources."
I know that's why it is bigger than Jimbo, even though Jimbo did not deliver whatsoever. We're not fucking giving him a pass on that. That's why the whole thing is fucking bigger than Jimbo Fisher. I don't think anyone could go in well, unless you get Nick Saban or one of those niggas now. But I don't think anyone could do it.
Bro, Kevin Sumlin went there and got a Heisman Trophy winner out of Texas A&M.
What the fuck did he win?
He did better than Jimbo.
Yeah, he did, but what the fuck did he win?
The guy he also produced
he got some
championships. He didn't win damn thing either.
It don't matter, but hey, Justin, he got just as much. Well, besides the SEC titles, he got a Heisman Trophy winner. I mean, that's the reason Lincoln Riley got a job.
Well, Lincoln Riley, despite him not winning a fucking national title,
he at least won a couple.
He dominated the Big 12. He dominated. He probably has like 6 Big 12 titles and just couldn't get done in the playoffs.
With Bob Stoops' recruiting class, let's just keep it. It's time to be honest about it. It's time to be honest.
You know, it was a heartfelt moment when that man came back and coached that team in their fucking bowl game.
And then, and then they won. Shout out to Bob Stoops. Yeah, that was with Bob Stoops' class because Bob Stoops is the one because he basically runs Oklahoma. He's the one who said you guys are going to hire Lincoln Riley. It's the shit people get. Hey, it's time to get now OSU fan getting pissed. It's the shit they gave Ryan Day. They're like, oh, he's winning with Urban's recruits.
Well,
and then when Ryan Day got his own recruits, we've had an NFL player quarterback picked in the first round almost every year. And at least we're winning shit. Lincoln picks his own people, and they can't stop a team from scoring 40. It's wild, but Jimbo might have a job by the end of this week because it's reported that UCLA is firing Chip Kelly this week.
Yep, after the USC game.
Yeah, I saw that today.
You might go to UCLA.
No way.
Well,
why not?
I mean, at this point for Jimbo, it's not even really about the money. It's just about trying to get yourself in a better position. I don't know if UCLA is that because you're essentially swapping out the SEC for the Big Ten.
Mm-hmm. He's going to get a job. I mean, it's just the fact that Jameis Winston went to a different school. He would be seen in a completely different light.
Yeah,
hey, man.
I mean, fucking, they had the stat going around that this buyout is more than Jameis Winston has made in the NFL.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Yeah, well, Jameis Winston, fucking Jimbo Fisher would not have a job.
Like, he had that Florida State team, Jameis, whatchamacallit, Jalen Ramsey, like they had a squad. It's just
man, were those fucking whatchamacallit? Were those Bobby Bowden's recruits? I gotta look
there you
go. You got me think. I gotta figure it out.
He's like, hold on a second now. Like, what is Jimbo actually doing?
Nah, he definitely recruited
because they went to the first playoffs too, and then they got smoked, and then that was the last time Jimbo seen any postseason type success.
Wait, hold on.
Crazy thing though is all this is true, but they still signed him to that extension
because they were afraid he was going to go to LSU. That's just
they knew. I'm just saying they knew the risks. He hadn't produced anything in any of the years. They had no reason to believe anything was going to change.
It's true. I'm just gonna say it, Jimbo. You're trash. Like, let's just.
Hey, bro, that nigga. Hey,
you're rich trash, but you're still.
I was gonna say, you knew it. I was gonna say, like, hey, he could be trash. That nigga rich.
You're rich
that
trash.
Nigga don't give a fuck.
Utterly embarrassing. Your season comes down to 2 games, LSU and Alabama, and you never win any of them.
That nigga's literally sitting here like, oh, you don't need. I don't need to pack up. You guys just throw away all my office stuff. I'll just buy new stuff.
Sure, you send a check though.
Like, this nigga about to get $20 million in 2 months.
This man's overall record is 128-48. He's definitely going to get another goddamn job.
Yes.
Read the Texas A&M record, Justin. Don't read the whole record. Read the Texas A&M record.
Like 45
and 25.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Just like Kevin Sumlin, pretty much.
Hey, except for $70-something million more.
Exactly.
Right.
Hey, it worked out for Jimbo. I ain't gonna knock another nigga's hustle. I will not knock another person's hustle. That was a hell of a hustle move. I'm proud of Texas A&M for waking up and cutting the cord, being brave enough to cut the cord, because sometimes it's a lot easier to just take the medicine and just keep paying the man.
What do you think? You think they gave him that plaque? The one that said he was going to win a national championship at Texas A&M?
I hope they did, because that would be hilarious.
I mean, why would they keep it? They don't need it
tight
back.
ends coach at Maryland. That's crazy.
But
shit, he can go back and do that. He making money. Like, this nigga gonna be making more than a head coach. He could be an assistant coach somewhere.
Byron, he making more money than a head coach. Probably gonna be the Saints head coach.
It's better than Dennis Allen.
Someone only had one more loss than Jimbo and less seasons
with significantly less money.
Yes. The hustle's real, man. But man, hustle his way up to fame, bro.
But now that Jimbo, as the world is saying, the biggest fraud in the sport is gone, they have moved on to new frauds. A couple in particular. We'll start with the Big Ten. James Franklin. Cedric, I know you texted and brought this up. I know we talked about this last week. If they lose to Michigan, it's going to chatter. Once Jimbo got fired, that chatter exploded because James Franklin lost to not Jim Harbaugh, the coordinator. James Franklin is 1-9 versus Ohio State, 3-7 versus Michigan, 12-25 versus the top 25, 3-17 versus the top 10. And now everyone is on his ass because he cannot beat Ohio State and Michigan when it matters. And when it comes to college football, your season is 1 or 2 games. Jimbo couldn't beat LSU and Alabama. His ass is out. James Franklin cannot beat Ohio State and Michigan consistently at all. Only difference is he's won Rose Bowls. He won a Rose Bowl just last year, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And he's lost a Rose Bowl, but
he's producing NFL talent.
Yeah. It's just at Penn State, he's been there since 2014. He's 86-38. But
what year did Jimbo go to Texas A&M?
18.
Okay.
So Penn State is consistently just finishing third in the Big Ten East. There have been times where they've been tied for second. They won one in 2016. They won that Big Ten. That's his only Big Ten title. They can't beat OSU and Michigan consistently. And they've had talent.
Man,
he's now what they're calling the biggest fraud in college football. Him, Lincoln. I mean.
All right, Penn State's going to fire this man and get who? And
who?
Who's going to put them over Ohio State, Michigan? It's
That's
the same thing with Texas A&M. You ain't going to be better than OSU and Michigan, bro. Unless they're down, unless OSU and Michigan are down, that's Penn State's only shot.
Yeah.
My biggest thing is we're talking about they're coming in third to the 2 best teams in the conference, and usually one of those teams is always in the college football playoff.
Correct.
In my mind, I'm like, I don't really know what you want from the guy when you have them on the same side of the fucking conference as you.
I think also, too, since the college football playoff has been created, The only teams to ever go from the Big Ten are Ohio State, Michigan, and Michigan State. Yep. Michigan State went 15. Got smoked because they beat us. But Cedric, they want him. They're like, these Ohio State games, we've watched them. There have been times where they're literally a one-possession game.
Yes.
And he always does not. And it's the fact that he's not coming through. Like, it's either the coaching or I know he had a terrible call last game. Last game, he had an awful call. But
and that's the thing. Like, I can understand if we were beating the dog piss out of them all the damn time. They're like, you guys at least make it competitive. Why aren't you making it competitive? We're not even coming fucking close. But he, like you just said, he is a possession away from beating us. At times, we are one of the top 5 teams in the fucking nation.
Mm-hmm.
And it just so happens that we're on the same side of the conference. Because if he was on the West, he'd be in the conference championship game every single fucking year.
That's true. That is true.
True.
Like, it's literally only because we're both in the Big Ten East.
And that will change next year. Next year will just be the top 2 teams. And just like Justin's saying, is like, who do you hire? It's just people are getting impatient, man.
People are just getting upset because they see other coaches getting fired, so they want to complain about their coach.
That's how Byron feels in the NFL.
That's because Dennis Allen sucks.
But I mean, you're right. Like, who would you hire? I mean, they did because Jimbo. James Franklin. I mean, they got him from Vanderbilt. Like, they saw something in Vanderbilt. He went 9-4 at Vanderbilt's pretty fucking special. 2 years in a row.
Yes,
that's what they're like.
That's a great coaching job. Like, it's hard to win there. Like, damn near impossible. In the SEC.
They're like, he's the next person up. We're gonna take him. And I mean, they've had some success and they've had some failures, but it's like, if your season comes down to 2 games, I mean, we're saying, like, we're in the state of Ohio. If he really loses to Michigan, he really might be gone.
For Penn State, I mean, historically, since they've been in the Big Ten since the 90s, how many times have they had better recruiting classes than Ohio State and Michigan?
Ooh,
it probably never has happened. It probably never has happened. So, like, they got that uphill battle. It's just hard, and it's hard to break through. You got capitalize on opportunities you have when OSU and Michigan are down, and more competition coming to the conference now. I just don't know what you do. Like, this college football shit's rigged. It's not like the NFL where you're the shittiest team in the league and then you get the first pick every single goddamn year. Like,
facts.
It's not like that. It's not like that in college football. So some of these teams are just have-nots. They're situated in their tier and they ain't getting out unless some crazy shit happens.
Yeah, Penn State's last national title was 1986. That's obviously because they had, for their longest, they had a legendary coach, Joe Paterno. So,
well, is that is that still like
they were independent?
They were in the championships.
I mean,
because you remember the whole scandal thing, they vacated almost all their championships involving him.
One moment,
I mean,
because they actually dismissed some of the.
We know who won the Natty. Come on now, just like Rick Pitino in 13. We all know who won that.
Look,
shit.
man, all I'm saying is they made Reggie give back all his shit. I love you, Joe
Wow.
Paul. But they made Reggie.
But we know who won that Heisman. Come on now, I hate that shit more than anything.
Well, that's why they didn't. Yeah, that's actually. I agree, but I'm trying to find something, but it not hasn't been.
Yeah, they vacated all of Joe Pa's wins from 1998 to 2011.
Okay, cool. I was gonna say, I know it was like at some point, it's like a random range whenever that coach was there and he was there at the same time.
Yeah, 19. That's how Bobby Bowden got ahead of him in the thing. Yeah, so it was the last night. It was 86. So,
yep. But yeah, I mean, like Justin's point is absolutely right. Not to mention, we live in we're now in that NIL era, and so if you're not attracting heat or attention, otherwise, why go to Penn State? Like, if you're not going to get a lot of playing time, get a lot of exposure, to get you some contract money, get you some deals before you try to enter the league, why go to Penn State? And so it's one of those questions. Like, if you're going to make the gamble if you can play, but the transfer portal things, like, even if the things aren't looking great on your side, you transfer somewhere else.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, it's just one of those things where you look at with him, with Lincoln, before he left. I mean, Brian Kelly was getting this same talk for a decade. They want to hit his ass out because he was in Notre Dame, not winning national championships, even though he took that team to a BCS national championship. He took Notre Dame to a couple playoffs. They just never won, and they haven't won a big game in a minute, but he was getting the same talk too.
Yeah, it's just a meat grinder of college football. Just a pressure. I mean, these niggas make millions of dollars, tens of millions now. Like, they deserve it, but like at some point, like the system's stacked to get some of these guys, some of these schools.
Yes.
And fans feel like they just get us one. Get us.
We just happen to all be from Ohio and be rolling with OSU and got lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean him. I don't know. He would get Lincoln. I mean, there'll be people chomping at the bit to take the USC job, but if Lincoln ever left, but Penn State's tough. Well, because you're in Ohio State and Michigan, and now you'll have USC and Oregon,
Exactly,
And Washington.
So those are the people who are next up. They're going to have, because it's when you know your season relies on 2 games and you keep losing it, man.
Tough place to be. Tough spot to be in.
Mm-hmm.
You got to go find that young new coordinator. I feel like Texas A&M is going to try and get a splash like Jimbo, but they can't pay that, man. They can't pay both people.
There's no way. They're about to get probably that dude from Duke.
I've heard he's the top candidate.
Mm-hmm.
Landing Oregon said he's the top dude. He's like, oh, I have unfinished business here. I was like, yeah, Brian Kelly and Lincoln Riley told their teams to their face they weren't leaving, and then they were on a secret plane out. So words don't mean shit.
Now Oregon has Phil Nike money now, so they can cough up. And I feel like Oregon's a better job than A&M.
They're not.
I don't think he's leaving. I
wouldn't pay him. No, I think this is almost going to be the same effect of like Deshaun Watson. I don't know if anyone's getting these type of contracts unless you are Saban and Kirby.
Well.
That's not how it works. That's not how the business works.
I mean, no one was getting that type of contract, and now you see that. And then because I was listening to something about this too, you have to pay this person out. If Mel Tucker's people beat Michigan State in court, they're gonna have to pay all of his money. So if you're a school and you're like, we need to stop giving these $100 million deals to people who ain't winning shit.
I mean, just don't sign them for fucking 10 years.
That's
Mm-hmm.
Or feel comfortable extending them, like do fucking 4-year contracts, 5-year contracts, extending it. They're showing you winning seasons. You feel like it's worth it, but don't be extending for 10 years. Extend for like 2 or 3.
Yeah, I mean, I agree because these coaches, it ain't it for. Well, you think we'll hear from Jimbo this year?
What do you mean by hear from Jimbo? You think like he says something?
Yeah, like talk.
Yeah.
What does a press conference? Sit that probably might be on TV. Shit, and ESPN might say, "Hey, come on down, come talk for a little while."
I guarantee he's been on a podcast by the time he's been fired somewhere.
The dude has a national championship. He's going to be on TV and shit. Definitely.
Like, I guarantee you, like he's been on the radio, even places. Like he's been talking. I guarantee it.
I just love the fakeness of ESPN, how they'll talk so much shit about you, and then the next day when you're hired on the staff, they're like, "Legendary coach Jimbo Fisher here."
Sure, you going to tune in, Martin?
Huh?
Are you going to tune in
when Jimbo talks?
Yeah.
No, I'll watch it on YouTube. I won't watch it live.
If he's on College Game Day, you ain't gonna watch him?
Oh, that's too much for me. I don't need him on game day.
He's not going to be. They're not going to put that man on game day.
If Texas A&M has a big game, they might.
I don't think they fuck with him, man. Like that shit. They bring him around for Florida State shit.
I'll say.
Oh, and
it'd be something if he showed up at the SEC game
and just
SEC championship game.
That would be
he's been talking shit about Saban.
They might actually do that. And then just to go on, like at least James has won some bowls. He obviously won a Rose Bowl. Lincoln Riley is 1, 2, 3. He has only won 1 bowl game since becoming a head coach.
How many has he gone to?
He went to the Rose Bowl 17, loss. Orange Bowl, loss. Peach Bowl, loss. He won the Cotton Bowl in 20. The Alamo, I don't know why that's blank. Oh, he went to the Alamo Bowl. I know he didn't coach the Alamo Bowl because that's when he Van Moose and skipped out.
Yes.
And then he lost
right.
the Cotton Bowl. So he's 1 in 4 in bowl games.
Damn.
And this is a guy who's had multiple Heisman Trophy winners.
Yep.
Hey, and
That
what
ain't
you
good.
said, I'm saying what you said earlier. Hey, at least he got something.
That's what's keeping him in the work.
I mean, he won the Big 12 4 straight years.
He won it when Texas
least
was
he
down
produced
with
something.
Bob Stoops' class. With Bob
Like I
Stoops
said,
still
with
being
Sumlin.
with Bob Stoops still being up in like the Oklahoma offices. Like, come on, the Big 12 wasn't shit back then. That's why they were never serious about being contenders.
Yeah, I'm just saying. You said the same thing with Kevin Sumlin. Like, at least he got Johnny Manziel.
Oh no, I agree.
Hey.
Like that's the only the Heisman. He's a Heisman whisperer.
Who was the coach of USC before?
Sarkisian.
No, it was Clay Helton.
Clay Helton.
Oh, Clay Helton.
Sarkisian. I do
Okay.
remember he coached at USC for a little.
Yeah, and he was drunk, literally.
Hey, but he went to the Saban rehabilitation program.
Yeah.
He did. Now he's at Texas.
Get Texas in the playoff.
Yeah, I'm just telling you, man. Look,
They don't fucking fuck up in between then.
Wow.
like I said, Saban has money and resources for all. Okay?
That's true. All right, let's do some top 12, and then we'll wrap it up with the 2 big games of the week. Byron, who's the number? No, yeah, Byron, who's the number 1 team in the country?
We had OSU last week. That's first.
Mm-hmm.
I want to keep him at number 1.
Okay. Cedric,
Georgia.
Justin.
Hold on. We had OSU 1, Georgia 2.
Then Michigan was 3.
Who picked Michigan?
No one. It's your pick.
Oh, it's my pick. Yeah, it's my pick. 3. Let's see. We have OSU. We have Georgia. Yeah, I'll do Michigan. They were, even though that was a disrespectful performance in Penn State, they did better than FSU. I'll give them that.
Even though record is one has lost, one hasn't. This is fluid. I have Oregon at 4.
There you go.
Even though they've lost a game and Florida State hasn't, they just right now the list is fluid. Go ahead, Byron.
It's just fluid. I will put Florida State at 5 then.
Cedric,
Washington.
Justin.
You know what? This has been Texas territory for a while now, but they're back. They're back. Alabama!
All right. So then, man, this is where we start getting a little. Oof.
It's woos.
Yeah,
So
I'll put
interesting.
Texas.
Man, this is the teams we don't like.
Oh, boy.
This is fraud territory.
This is fraud territory.
Damn.
9 through 12 is about to be. Oh boy, because all of our previous, we had Ole Miss killed.
Oh man, I
Penn
forgot
State.
to tell y'all. I know y'all saw Oklahoma State get the shit knocked out of them.
Oh yeah,
That was ridiculous. Ridiculous.
45-3. God damn.
That's ridiculous.
Central Florida.
They had no business losing that game.
And UCF is not good either. Like
Exactly.
That was embarrassing. That was horrible.
Go ahead, Byron. Who's number 9?
You had Texas at 8.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick. Damn, it's tough. I'm gonna go Louisville at 9. I don't like it, but
Go ahead, Cedric.
I guess.
Give me the Beavers. Give me the fucking Beavers. God damn it.
Oregon State.
Okay.
Justin.
Missouri.
Oh yeah. Oh, this is rough. Number 12. Who's left out? I can pick Ole Miss after they had a 50 burger put on their head.
No.
I was wondering if you're going to. I was like,
Nah,
after the 50?
I can't.
After the 50
I can't
spot?
I was just talking something. I really might.
Shit, everyone else that's close was they got hit up.
I know they all
Okay.
lost. So I'm trying to figure out. Who I think would win on a mutual field: Penn State or Oklahoma.
I think you gotta pick Oklahoma.
To be honest, I will, but I almost picked LSU.
I wouldn't have been mad with that one either.
Hey,
Like I'm really thinking about it, bro.
With LSU either.
I'm picking LSU. Fuck them. I'm picking LSU. 3-loss team. Oklahoma pissed me off ever since they lost that game.
Back to back.
So we had Ohio State, Georgia, Michigan, Oregon, Florida State, Washington, Alabama, Texas, Louisville, Oregon State, Missouri, and I'll have LSU based on this past week. So when the committee does, they might be doing it right now. When the committee does their rankings, do you think they'll put Georgia number 1 because they just beat a top 10 team by 40 plus points?
That's what I would guess.
That's what we do.
Now,
we're stalling for those damn rankings to come out.
I was like, that's what I would guess. Like now's the best time. If they're going to get number 1, this is what's going to be it. Either this or the fucking SEC championship game, which at that point in time, whoever wins that is going to get skyrocketed anyway.
Yeah. So there's only 2 ranked teams. Georgia's at Tennessee. I don't understand, like, with Justin's point, how Georgia, for the Missouri game especially, their biggest games these past 2 years, they've had them at home, and then when Tennessee's asked, they get to go to Tennessee.
Bullshit.
Is Georgia going to put another 50 burger?
Probably.
Tennessee is ranked, right?
At this point.
Georgia going to whoop their ass. I don't know how this time, but I ain't picking Tennessee. I ain't betting against these niggas.
Oh no!
So they survived the gauntlet. Justin thought of they wouldn't make it out.
Yeah, they made me look like idiots. Sick of them.
I think we're all taking Georgia, so it's okay. It's okay. Washington is going to Oregon State.
Yeah.
Hey.
What are thoughts on that game?
Oregon State's a 2.5 point favorite.
They're a favorite?
No, Washington's a 2.5 point favorite.
I was about to say
no. I'm looking at ESPN right now. It says line Oregon State 2.5.
Nani?
Oh shit! Yeah,
7:30 night game.
Wait, that's the night game?
ABC.
Yeah, Oregon is minus 2.5. So Oregon State is minus 2.5.
Oh no!
That right there, some fighting words. If I'm Washington's used to it.
Don't bet on it now. I have a feeling that Washington will be a favorite by the time that game kicks off, and that we're hammering Oregon State, gentlemen. I think Oregon State going to get them.
Oh no, the favorites? That's night AB. Is that where they're going to game day?
Yes,
probably.
Well, I don't know about that.
Probably.
I would say it's probably.
You gotta go to Corvallis, Oregon at night.
And they've been.
I think that's the closest. That's besides Georgia, Tennessee. That's the only worthwhile ranking game because it's Utah and Arizona. No one wants to fucking go to that for game day.
That would. Where's it at? Utah? Is it in Salt Lake? I'll go.
It's in Arizona. It's hot as fuck.
I'll still go.
Tucson.
It's getting cold here.
That's true. So it's probably not as hot over there. It's probably like a good 80.
Firing the rankings up.
I was looking at where game day is being.
Nah, that goddamn game's still on.
Okay, well.
How much time is left in the game?
God damn it. Why didn't they fucking do it at halftime? I thought they did this shit at halftime.
They do.
It's not like this thing even takes that long either. Like it's
they do all this shit, but it's whatever. We can have Twitter reaction to it. If Washington loses, oh boy.
Man.
Yeah, Washington.
Oh man.
Right before rivalry week, which next week, actually It's the week of Thanksgiving. So we are doing the Super Football podcast. So we're going to be talking OSU, Michigan, the whole college football segment, unless a team gets upset. It's going to be the whole college football segment. Then Justin's going to get Byron and Cedric into some NFL, going to talk the Thanksgiving games, review some games. So it's going to be a super podcast. Actually, that one's going to be on YouTube because they would not be able to edit it before Thanksgiving. So, yeah.
Fuck that. Live show, baby.
But it's OSU Michigan week next week. One of our favorite stressful times as a Buckeye fan. So it'll be very exciting. It
was a goddamn holiday for me.
Oh, I mean, it's the only day I wear a Buckeye jersey. So it's low key like Christmas for me. So except when we lose, and I just stare at the
shirt right now.
Hey, that's a shirt, not a jersey. I put the AJ Hawk jersey on, and then when we lose, I'm low key like, Skip, take off the jersey, throw it on the bed, stare at the wall.
I was saying, this man just stares at the wall. He doesn't say a fucking word. He's not saying anything to anyone. I won't be watching the game at I can't watch the game with you, Martin. Sorry.
It's okay.
Come with me. I'll be outside.
That being said, this is the LSC podcast. Go Bucks, signing out. Thank you for listening to this episode of the L7C podcast. Be sure to like, rate, review, and subscribe to the channel. Follow us on all social media platforms, and we'll be talking to you guys soon. Take care.